Hello, good afternoon, guys. This is my colloquium. So I'll be talking about my lesson plan and everything. Okay, first I'll start with my teaching context. The university where I teach has an English language program. This is a Tecnológico Nacional de México. It is a campus. You know, like every city has a Tecnológico. It belongs to a network of tecnológicos, and that is Tecnológico Nacional de México. So, this school, like this campus in Tapachula, my city, Chiapas, it has a like school, and there's a program for students to study English. And so this is public education, and like students from the university, they take the English classes so that they can get the like certificate of completion. So it is they are 16 levels, like 16 courses they have to take, like mandatory. So in order to graduate, they need to obtain the certificate, right? So this school is organized like in 16 levels, as I said, and they go from A1 to C1 according to the European of reference for languages. The courses are from Monday to Friday and Saturday courses. The program, it is very simple. It is just 6 days. I teach on Saturdays, so it is 6 days. So you have to cover like the lessons during 6 days. They change level. And so the English course is aligned to a series of books called Interact. The English courses are divided in levels, like I said, 16 levels. Each book is good for 4 courses. So there are 4 units, or there are 12 lessons in each book. So like I said, there are 4 courses in one book, so they get like total of 4 courses. So this one specifically is course level 6. Yeah. And so this is how it is like a structure. We check 2 lessons. So this is the lesson plan, 2 of them, right? And it is mainly about listening. Can you go to the next one, teacher? As you can see in the picture, sorry. There's like the first picture, that's the area, like English area where we teach. Where we And this is one picture of myself teaching, but it was before pandemic. Then we went to, online, and we still are online on Saturday courses. They from Monday to Friday, they're already teaching in person. So yes. And that's the logo of the school, Tecnológico Nacional de México. Here I'm showing to you some pictures of the school. Like the first one I showed you, that was the building where I teach English. The next one, the blue one, is the principal's office, like all the administration and things like that. And then we have the entrance, and that is a classroom, what it looks like. I thought it was going to be a good idea to show you how it is composed, and that's the logo of my school. There are 39 students enrolled in this course. 17 students attended the course. This group has 17 females and 22 males. In my next slide, I'll show you, I try to put everything together, like all the theories we've seen, because they are applied at some point. This is my teaching spine. I just incorporate all the theory that we checked. And well, I would like to first address Stephen Krashen's hypothesis. We know that we have the acquisition learning, like how we understood the differences between learning and acquiring a language and learning a language. We sometimes see students like they know the grammar and everything, but they're not able to, to create a sentence. So this is how it is explained through this theory. So, and this is important, because this is how I understood what they were needing, like my students, like what they were lacking. So we know our students, and now we are not too hard on them for like not being able to produce a sentence or things like that. So this has helped me during my like teaching, trying to understand my students, and also about the effective filter hypothesis. This is something I also take into consideration, because students, they have this block, this mental block that doesn't allow them to like feel comfortable or like to produce something. So this has helped me to understand as well, how students like work, and the natural order hypotheses as well, when we are teaching students. Like we always are hard on them, like telling them like why you're not using the s at the end of a verb, like when they're speaking in present simple. So I try to like to understand why they're not, like, because when we read, we understood that the s at the end of the verb, that is one of the things that comes later at their progress. So that was some things I really liked about like learning about this. And then there are other things that I also incorporate, the social cultural theory, um behaviorism and structuralism. You know how learning is developed through these theories. And the communicative approach, I think it plays a really important piece of my, I don't know, teaching, because it provides me with most of my strategies, skills, and everything. So I think it's really important to consider this. And also I noticed, like, during the like while reading these methodologies, and there's the different approaches and methodologies to ELT. So the grammar and translation method, like when we use some kind of memorization of vocabulary. So I try to get my students like sometimes to memorize. So those are one of the teaching practices that I use, or like using cognates. And when we're using the direct method and the audiolingual method, I realized this theory was one of the that had most techniques visible in my teaching. So to provide students a model of target language, so that students like can like not imitate, but like have a role, like kind of feel like a role. And when also giving classes, being aware of students they imitate. So I try to to pronounce as clear as possible, so that they can like kind of have a role, the teacher. And this is my lesson plan. My lesson plan is constituted of 5 activities. And like the activity number 1, which is the pre-listening, activity number 2, while listening, activity 3, it is the grammar presentation. And then we have the post-listening, which also it is also a speaking activity. And here they are practicing mainly listening skills, but they are also practicing speaking, and they're also checking grammar. And well, this is a 2-hour lesson plan. This was a 2-hour lesson plan. It was at the flea market, flea market where they sell like secondhand things. So that was the topic. So I started introducing this in my warmer, and the first part of like activity number 1. That was my pre. I was activating students' previous knowledge, activating a schemata, and so the students knew about the topic, right? And then we have the activity number 2. It was while listening. It was trying to students were first introduced to the listening, and the students were practicing. And then we have the grammar presentation, which was using the structure "could you" and "would you mind." And this was in order to students practice bargaining, like when they're like, can you go cheaper, would you mind bringing the price down, or things like that. Also students had the opportunity to interact and practice this structure, so that students they were able to bargain. And the reasons I chose this topic, it was because it was something I really liked. to like implement it. It was like I saw really good things about this. It was a good opportunity to develop listening and speaking along with grammar. So I thought it was really, really good. Here are some pictures of the slides that I use. The first picture is the Unit 9, Lesson 27 at the flea market. Then we see Hangman, and there are also some other activities with the listening. There are like the gaps. Do you see? There is my lesson plan there, and there are other feature about my classes. I tried. Well, I implemented this portfolio. Well, I didn't know that I was implemented this until I read about this, and I was trying to have students like folders in Drive. So like in each drive, I would have like 6 days, that I mentioned previously. So in each day, they would upload the activity that I would consider important to be assessed. And so I just included there. Well, according to the grading criteria, we only have the oral and the written exam. So that's the only way we can like grade students. So that there it is, my written exam, and oral exam. It is basically asking questions about everything they saw in the course. Asistencia, it is also part of the assistante. It is also part of this, and I also take this into account into the portfolio. And it's like if a student has an activity, that means he came to the class, to have like a proof they were there. Because sometimes they are like, teacher, I can't connect because there's no internet or things like that. So we always encounter these kind of things. And I thought it was like a good implementation, like to kind of like not losing those 20% in just by having students there. Like at least maybe they have something, some kind of proof that they participated or they worked. And homework, it is the workbook. So I check the workbook, and that takes most of the time in my classes to like be checking that. I like to make sure students understand the grammar to the next Saturday. And yeah, and outcomes, I'm just gonna go and read them. A good portion of the lesson plan went mostly as planned, and there were other opportunities that I could use to provide feedback. This was one of the things I realized when I was like editing my video. I saw that I didn't have like much opportunity to provide feedback, or maybe I didn't pay attention much. So I'll try to consider this. And the learning objectives and the class, and in general, everything went well. It could be said that that the learning objectives were met. There was good engagement with the activities. I really like that. And I have a problem with time management. So I wasn't able to, keep track of the minutes I was considering for each activities. So therefore I had to, you know, pass some activities or skip some activities. In regards with my challenges, I could say completing assignments was the most difficult part, like reading and writing and, backing all this information. I know that you know it, but like as the teacher said, you need to back it. And so references and all those things, it was really difficult, but I really enjoyed. I love writing. So and then we have the readings that we need to let that sink in, like analyze it, and forums and exams on time. That was really hard. I was at last moment doing my exams and reading. And delivery dates, this also goes hand in hand with the assignments. Working on assignments as well, finding time to prepare the lesson plan. It was really hard because I like to prepare my lesson plan. Every move I do, I want to stay that in the lesson plan because it helps me when I'm giving the class so that I don't miss anything. So I really like that. So it was really difficult for me to prepare or develop the lesson plan. And I needed to start it from zero. And my job, it is another downside. And yes, can we go to the next one, Miss? And my reflection, I haven't taken this course. It sharpened my knowledge. I know more about everything I learned. And regarding second language acquisition, I believe I'm able now to make more informed decisions about the activities I use or the activities I try to implement. Or like, like when reading the activities, when reading, sorry, the readings, there were like like they were suggestions, like you should use this activity. And there was also like it was back. So I tried to like get more informed decisions, not just having an activity just because it is fun and it takes time off of my lesson. So I tried to focus on that. Future pathways, I think applying for a master's degree abroad, I would like to have this experience of studying abroad, and or maybe planning to get a job at a university. I like to be like teacher as Miss Rosa. Like, when you teach students like the methodologies and theories and all those kind of things, I really like that. And yeah, that's it, I think. And thanks.